Hello, gentle viewers. This is Vindian, welcoming you back to Tabletop Simulator. And today's installment is going to be the game designed by Matt Leacock, Forbidden Island. Forbidden Island is one of a trilogy of games. Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and Forbidden Sky, all of which play somewhat similarly, but have some pretty big differences that I think make each one of them unique and fun in their own way. I believe Forbidden Desert technically came out first. I can't remember. I have the manual here. Does the manual say when the game was published? This came out in 2010. I think Forbidden Desert came out later. I can't remember. But in any case, you won't have to wonder too long because next week I'm going to play Forbidden Desert. There is no tabletop simulator mod that I have found for Forbidden Sky yet, which makes a lot of sense. There's a bit of a tactile nature to that game where it just doesn't work as opposed to the other games. Maybe it's something that we'll come up with later on. But until then, we still have Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert to enjoy. Now, the game Forbidden Island is about trying to recover 4 lost treasures on this island. But there's a problem with this island. It's sinking. And if we don't get all the treasures before they all sink, we lose the game. Which would obviously be very, very bad. But it's a cooperative game. We're all working together to recover the 4 treasures and get back to the helicopter landing pad before the game ends. This game has a lot of similarities to Pandemic. It was again designed by the same guy, Matt Leacock. In that, in order to collect a treasure, you need 4 of the same color cards. So if you look at my diver character over here, we have the cracked orb thing. I'm sure they have names. I don't know what they are. I would need 3 more of these in order to complete, in order to get the treasure. Now, our hand limit is... I wonder if there's no hand limit. Oh, no, it is 5 cards. Okay. But we also have special cards. Each of the cards. I'm playing with 2. That's going really well to play any co-op game, in my opinion, unless there's a specific solo mode. You need at least 2 characters to really have much of a shot at succeeding. I am playing on the normal difficulty. I've played several games of Forbidden Island. It's not a hard game on the lower difficulty settings. And it's honestly easier than Pandemic, and especially easier than Forbidden Desert. But with that out of the way, let's start playing the game. One last round of shuffling. Unlike Pandemic, it doesn't matter if you run out of cards. You just keep shuffling them. Instead, there are 3 ways to lose the game. First is a tile sinks completely when you are standing on it. That means basically you drown and the game ends. Second is you get too many of these Waters Rise cards up to the top. That ends the game. And finally, if the Fool's Landing or both of any of the treasure cards sinks and is gone from the game, you also lose the game. But you only win the game by collecting all 4 treasures, and everyone gets to the helicopter landing pad and they fly away. You must have one of these helicopter lift cards in order to leave. But you can also use it to move anywhere in the game, which is pretty good. Now, every turn you pick 3 actions. And these actions include moving, shoring up an island tile, capturing a treasure card, or giving a treasure card. In order to capture a treasure card, you have to be on that space, and things like that. Now, we also have special powers. My diver here is really, really good at moving through flooded tiles. In fact, I can move through as many tiles as I want to as long as they're all flooded or even missing, which is pretty fantastic. Also joining us today, we have the engineer, who's really good at shoring up tiles. Now let me remind myself, if we actually start to flood the island at the beginning of the game, I do not believe that you do. Oh no, you actually do. Okay, you draw the top 6 cards. And these island tiles all start as flooded. So we have the Whispering Garden, which is right here. We have the Twilight Hollow, over there. The Temple of the Sun, the Crimson Forest, the Breaker's Bridge, and Fool's Landing. Oh dear. Okay. So the game is now fully set up and we're ready to go. And go we shall. We're going to start off with the Diver, because that's what I happen to draw first. And we really want to shore up Fool's Landing. But I don't think we can get there quickly enough. So what's actually going to happen instead is my engineer, because you can play his cards at any time, is going to be like, don't worry, friend, I've got your back. He's going to play his sandbags and shore up Fool's Landing so that it can't sink. That then leaves me open to do whatever else I think is necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, these tiles are flooded, right? So I can go as far as I want. And what am I doing? Oh, that was never flooded. Never mind. There's nothing else here that's, for the sake of argument, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So his turn is now finished. He is shored up the Temple of the Sun. If we lose both of them that contain a treasure, we can lose the game. I then draw, I believe it's 2 cards. And excellent. I get another black, and I get the first of the fire treasure cards. Very nice. I really enjoyed these player mats that this mod author created. They're really, really helpful. And remind you of a number of things. Okay. The last thing we do is we draw a number of flood cards equal to the number here. So which is going to be 2 more. So the Bronze Gate is flooded, as is the Tidal Palace. Okay. The next player now takes their turn. Now, because we have the Diver, I'm not quite as worried if a tile sinks, because I can still move very quickly. We just don't want to lose any tiles that are, what am I trying to say? We don't want to lose any tiles with a treasure on them, because that makes us pretty vulnerable. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. That way, next turn, I can flip both of these, and we won't have to worry about either one of those tiles sinking. Alright, I'm going to draw 2 cards. We got a Fire Dealy and a Sphinx Dealy. And we flood 2 more tiles. The Observatory. All the way up there. And the Misty Marsh. Okie dokie. Back to the Diver. I'm actually halfway tempted to leave some of these tiles alone just because we can zip through things very, very quickly. I want to be in a position where I can turn in my black treasure cards if I can. Because once you've collected the treasure, you no longer care if those tiles sink. We're probably overdue for Water's Rise card. So even though it's not as efficient, because I can flip 2 tiles here, right? No, there's nothing here that's so important that I have to worry about that. I'm actually going to end my turn here. I'm actually not going to do anything this turn. I just don't have any reason to. And I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. And I was right, we got our first Water's Rise. So the first thing that happens is we increase the water level. We're going to be drawing 3 flood cards each turn. The second thing we do is we flip this over, we shuffle this, then we put it on top, and then we draw our normal flood cards. We got Fool's Landing again. That's not ideal. The Bronze Gate is now gone from the game. The island is gone. We will never see its like again. And that's no big deal. That's no big deal. And then finally, number 3 is the Temple of the Sun. I'm glad we shored that up last turn. Okay. We can also trade treasure cards. And in this case, we have to be on the same tile, right? We do. So my first action is I'm going to flip these 2 tiles. Because I can do it twice because I'm an engineer. The next thing I would very much like to do is get more red cards so we can complete the first treasure. So I'm going to use my helicopter lift card. And I'm going to have black move over to me. That's free. And then finally, oh, you can only give a treasure card. You can't take a treasure card. Is that correct? Okay. Well, that's odd. That greatly changes my plan. But it's not the end of the world. He can just give me the 2 red cards next turn if we need to. And then for my third action, I'm just going to do nothing. And I'm really hoping I don't draw another Water's Rise card, or we could have lost the game. And I didn't. I got this bad boy, and I got this one. Very nice. We flood 3 tiles. Whispering Garden. Misty Marsh. Removed from the game. We'll never see it again. And the observatory. Now, I wonder, because I've actually haven't looked this up before, but maybe I'm... When a tile is flooded... Remove it and the matching flood card. Okay. Which makes perfect sense, right? Because otherwise, it's like you're basically cheating. So the Misty Marsh and that are both removed from the game. And then I also need to remove the bronze card. Because otherwise, it's like we're basically giving ourselves an out. An automatic situation where we don't care. And that's obviously not a good thing. I've actually not played with that rule before, but it makes a ton of sense, and I wish that I had been doing it. Because Forbidden Island can be a bit easy. Alright. So, that concluded your turn. It's now back to the diver. And the diver's gonna say, hey buddy, I'm not going to do that. That would be stupid. Because I believe if you give someone a card... Oh, interesting. Temporary allows you to be over... Yeah. Because I can't give you both of these. You'd have to discard a card. You know what? Let's do that. I'm going to have you discard one of these lions. I'm going to give you both of them. And hope that you draw another flame card on your next turn. So I'm going to go 1 to come over here. 2. And then 3. Now, being on a tile that floods isn't the end of the game, even if it completely vanishes. It's only if you can't then swim to another space. Because you're essentially stranded. I get 2 treasure cards. Well, I got another Water's Rise card. This is not good. I mean, look, I'm not even going to put these back on top. I'm just going to flip them because it's the same 3, right? That means Whispering Garden now is gone from the game. Oh, but that's okay. I can swim to any adjacent space. So I'm going to swim here to the Cliffs of Abandon. I next got the Temple of the Sun, which is actually already removed from the game, wasn't it? Because wasn't it right here? No, it's right there. Oh, I think I flipped the Temple of the Sun when I meant the Temple of the Moon earlier, so this should actually be removed as well. And then again, Fool's Landing floods. So we're going to need to fix that. But here is one of the interesting challenges I did not think of. The engineer can never go to this flooded tile because he cannot walk on a space that's completely flooded. The diver can, but he cannot. So that is a yikes. The diver can. So the diver's going to have to make sure to hustle up there and get that taken care of. But the first thing that's going to happen is my engineer is going to go, hey, buddy, have the first treasure card. So that means next turn, as long as we can get him to the Temple of the Moon, he's got that in the bag. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to have him move closer to one of the fire spots. So I'm going to go 3. So that he can then cash that in when he gets it. Draws 2. He gets 2 crystal goblets, which is unfortunate. I guess we'll discard this other lion chap. And I draw 3 cards. Breaker's Bridge is now gone forever. This is really not a great start. Like, we're going to get the first treasure pretty soon, but it's still going to take me 2 turns to get there, unless I use my helicopter lift. Maybe I have to do that. Anyway, that was 1. 2, Twilight Hollow is gone from the game. And 3, the Crimson Forest, which is just flooded. Okay. It is now the diver's turn, and look, I can't afford to waste actions. Because otherwise it would be 1, 2, 3 just to get that, and I wouldn't get this first treasure. So I'm going to play my helicopter lift. I'm going to go... There's an element of danger here. If I draw another Water's Rise card this turn, we could lose Fool's Landing and then the game is over. But that's a risk I have to take, because otherwise we're basically boned. So I'm going to discard my treasure cards. And I collect the first treasure in the game, which is pretty good. That's a nice start. I then draw 2 cards, and I hope against hope that one of them is not a Water's Rise card. It's another helicopter lift, and it is that boy. That's fantastic news. We're still not out of the woods, because my engineer can never unflood that tile. Only the diver can do that. So I'm actually going to burn this helicopter lift card so that the diver can be in position to take care of that next turn. I'm going to go 1, 2. I'm just going to end my turn there so that if I do get the 4th fire card, I can discard it next turn. Oh, at the end of the last turn, I did not draw the 3 flood cards, did I? So the Tidal Palace is now flooded. The Lost Lagoon is flooded. And Phantom Rock is flooded. Okay. Now the engineer draws his 2 cards. And he got 2 cards he'd very much like to keep. I'm going to discard the goblet. And I'm just going to play the sandbags immediately. I'm going to save ourselves some time by just shoring up Fool's Landing, so we don't have to worry about instant death. Okay. That was all actually at the end of the diver's turn. Now I do this again for the engineer's turn. Copper Gate is flooded. Temple of the Moon is flooded. And the Coral Palace is flooded. Now here's the really good news. I no longer care if the Temple of the Moon goes away. Because, as you'll note here in the losing the game here, it only matters if we do it before we collect their treasures. So if the Temple of the Moon goes away, who cares? Alright, it is now back to the diver. And I kind of wish we hadn't wasted that one card already, but oh well. I'm going to flip that. So that's action 1. Then I'm going to go action 2, action 3. And I'm going to flip the Coral Palace next turn. And you're going to draw 2. And you got a line, and you got the last fire card we need, which would be great, except we're nowhere near each other, and I can't get there very quickly. So, it is what it is. We then draw 3 flood cards. That is the Gold Gate, the Iron Gate, and the Cave of Shadows. Alrighty. Engineer, my dude, please. You're gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna flip both of these. I'm not doing this because I care about these tiles. I'm doing this because I don't want to make this deck shorter. And then get to the really bad stuff faster. So I'm gonna draw 2. And hey, I just got 2 crystal goblets, so I'm actually going to discard the 2 fires that I had, and then I can get that next turn. Very nice. And the Tidal Palace is right next door. What timing? As for you, Mr. Diver, we're going to shore up the Cave of Shadows. We're going to shore up the Coral Palace. And I guess we'll shore up the Temple of the Moon. Why not? You draw 2. Okay, that's great news. And then we flip over 3 cards. The Dunes of Deception. The Howling Gardens. And the Watchtower. Back to the engineer. He's about to go 1. 2. And then I guess he will shore up 3 like that. Now, there's one other consideration I just recently figured out. I cannot get him to Fool's Landing without a helicopter card. So I'm going to have to hope that I draw one. I'm going to have to keep that card for the rest of the game. I draw my 2, and it's another Water's Rise. We were overdue, quite frankly. Oops, that's in the wrong place. Stop it. Okay, so we move up the flood level. I then shuffle this, and we put it back on top. Fool's Landing again. The Crimson Forest is now gone forever. And Phantom Rock is flooded again. I just unflooded that, you jerk. Oh well. That is it for this turn. It goes back to the diver. Oh, this is awesome. So I'm going to go 1. And remember my ability. I can move as many flooded or missing tiles as I want to. I just have to end my turn on a tile. So this is 1 to move. And I get to go wee. 2. This would be an adjacent tile. That's amazing. And then 3, I'm going to go all the way back up to here. Just so I can be near the Cave of Shadows if I get the remaining fire cards I need. You'll notice here that the treasure deck is now empty. So we flip it, we shuffle it. And I still draw 2. Okay, we got the helicopter lift card that I knew we would need. I can easily discard this card and this card. So I now have a way to get the engineer over to the helipad when we're ready to leave. The only thing I don't have just yet is I don't have a second one because you need a second card to actually get them to leave. And then we flip over the top 3 cards. The Cave of Shadows floods. Wait. Oh no, I screwed up. Because I did draw 2 cards already. Right. Sorry, guys. So I did shuffle this, but I didn't actually draw anything. Because I already drew. So I just flipped the Cave of Shadows. That was 1. Coral Palace is 2. And then the Tidal Palace is 3. Alright, now it's the engineer's turn. And the engineer's like, I don't want to sink. So he's going to go 1, 2. Sorry, that's just 1. And he's got a decent start for the fire trophy. So he's going to go 2, 3. There we go. Then I draw 2. And I got a Goblet and the Cracked Earth, neither of which we actually needed. I also don't have that card I needed, but I don't want to cheat, so that's why I changed it. The Gold Gate is now a Gone Gate. The Lost Lagoon is now especially lost. And the copper gate is flooded for the first time. Back to Divery McDiver Pants. I want you near one of the lion spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yeah, because I can only move to an adjacent flooded or missing tile as multiple times for one action. So there we go. I'm right on top of the Howling Gardens. I'm ready to go. I'm going to draw 2 cards. And I get sandbags and a crystal goblet. I'm going to get rid of that because I don't care about that. But I do care very much about sandbags. Back to the engineer. None of these are a big deal, actually. I'm just going to go 1, and I'm just going to end my turn. I have no other incentive to go anywhere else. Draw 2. I did get a helicopter lift. And a crystal goblet I don't need anymore. And we're going to flip 3 cards. The Watchtower. The Dunes of Deception will not be deceiving anyone anymore. And the Iron Gate. Okay. Diver's turn. This is interesting, actually. I can go 1, 2, and I'm going to give you one of my flamey boys. That then brings us 1 card closer to getting that taken care of. So there we go. I'm going to draw 2. I got the other helicopter lift we needed, thank goodness. And then we're going to flip over 3 tiles. Temple of the Moon, the Howling Garden, and the Cave of Embers. Not bad at all. Engineer, you're going to go 1. Sorry, not the engineer. You're the engineer. That's 1 to move. Then 2. Then 3. That's where I want to be. Draw 2. I got a Water's Rise card, which is unfortunate, and I got another useless card. We're now doing 4 cards a turn. Cave of Embers is now gone. I don't love that. Second card is the Watchtower. Third card is the Tidal Palace. And the fourth card is the Iron Gate, which is now gone from the game. Which is not the end of the world, right? It's on the fringes. It doesn't actually matter. We wouldn't be going back there anyway. But the island's starting to get awfully small now. So we're going to have to do our best to hustle. That was the engineer's turn. That's the diver's turn. Let's just make this easy. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, another Water's Rise. That's not great. I'm actually going to discard the sandbag because I don't have a reason to keep it, and I have to discard anytime I have more than 5 cards. So, it is what it is. Goes up again. And look, I'm going to save myself some time. I know that those 2 cards are going to be drawn. I'm just going to draw 2 more once I've dealt with these. The Tidal Palace floods again. And the Watchtower floods again. And then we have the Coral Palace. And the Temple of the Moon is now gone. It's a good thing we've got our treasure, though. We're not so concerned about that. Okay, engineering time. Engineer. 1, 2, 3. 3. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I cannot do that. I was here. I cannot let the Howling Gardens go. I can't do it. Oh my god. If the Howling Gardens sink, we lose the game. But there's only 2 helicopter lifts in the entire deck. Is that correct? I wonder if it lists that anywhere. Because if this card sinks, I lose the game. I mean, full stop. Don't pass go, don't collect $200. Because I'll never be able to complete that treasure. Did it just flood? It did not. That card is lurking in the deck. And if I draw it, we lose the game. So unfortunately, I cannot do that on this turn. I have to use my helicopter lift. So that's free, and then it's going to be 1, 2. That's 1, and then 2, and then he'll stay there for 3. No, he won't. He doesn't care about that space so much. 3. Now I draw 4 cards. Cave of Shadows is flooded. Copper Gate is flooded. Howling Gardens, I'm glad I fixed it. And Fool's Landing. Okay. This is not great, but we're on to the Diver's turn. And the Diver's gonna go 1, 2. 3. And now the lion can sink for all we care. Please don't draw a Water's Rise card. Thank you, game. You're very kind. Alright. So we're gonna do Phantom Rock floods. Cliffs of Abandon flood. And the Silver Gate floods. We have a real problem now. I gotta do this, and then I gotta do this, and then I gotta shuffle. If we draw the Cave of Shadows or the Fool's Landing, that's a 1 in 5 chance we lose the game. And there's nothing we can do about it. So we gotta hope that we get lucky. It's the Phantom Rock. Okay. Alright, Engineer McEngineer Pants. It is your turn. No, it's not. It's the yeah, it's the Engineer's turn. Fix the one you can fix. You can fix this. You can go 1, then 2. And I guess we'll do 3. I cannot do anything about Fool's Landing. If we draw that and the next 4 cards, we lose the game. Okay, I did get the last card we needed, so we can get the treasure next turn, potentially. But I've got to hope that the next 4 cards, any of them is not the Fool's Landing. Coral Palace sinks and is gone forever. Who cares? That's item 1. Card 2, the Watchtower floods. Card 3, the Tidal Palace floods. Come on, please, do not be Fool's Landing. Oh, thank goodness. And then you're gonna move there. Alright. 1, 2. And you're not moving from that spot. You are not going anywhere. The waters do rise again, but we did get our last helicopter lift. Alright, we're now up to 5 cards. I'm going to shuffle those two, not that it matters, but I want to make sure that we're counting correctly. Okay, Watchtower, gone. This deck is getting mighty low, friends. Tidal Palace, gone. That's 2 cards. Silver Gate, gone. That's 3 cards. Fool's Landing floods, that's 4 cards. Copper Gate is 4 cards. So you are gone as well. Okay. Alright. 1. 2. And then he screams with his third action, Diver, get us the fuck out of here. Free helicopter lift to get me to Fool's Landing. And the last one. We did it. Oh my goodness. There were 3 tiles left. There were 3 tiles left. That was surprisingly tense. And I think that the probably part of the reason that for the first couple times I played this game, I thought it was a bit too easy. Because I wasn't removing cards from the game when we flooded, when they went missing. Oh dear. So, victory in Forbidden Island. I am so happy about that. Oh my gosh, what tenseness. How tense was that? Thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy the game and this lovely... this island's already flooded, so maybe we lost as soon as we started the game. Please join me next Saturday for Forbidden Desert, which is kind of the sequel / prequel, depending on how it fits in your headcanon, to this game. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I bid you good day with a celebratory flip of the table.